Welcome back to the channel. Life in the last days. Here we are again. No love and no trust. That pretty much encapsulates society today. It's very famous. We all know this. So there are several places. There is Second Timothy 3, where Paul goes through narcissism and the way people are in the last days. But Jesus said it very, very plainly in a whole discourse in Matthew 24, where he's talking about uh, the destruction of the temple in 70, which would occur in 70. And then he's talking about the very last days, and he kind of handles it in a dual fashion because the apostles ask him specifically about both, and he kind of answers both in a roundabout way, and then sometimes a direct way. But one of the things he talked about is at the end, because of the increase in lawlessness, the love of many will grow cold or wax cold. And as I've said before, the feeling behind that, the text itself, the original language, describes something like a frosty breeze, a frosty wind that blows over the earth. That kind of frigid, cold. Well, guys, that's exactly what the world is today. And I had a guy tell me this recently. Oh, that's so general. That's such a general prophecy. Well, I'll give you that in the grand scheme of some of the other ones, it's a little general, but at the same time, it's not. Because Jesus gave us expectations. He basically said, okay, here is what the world will look like in the last days. Among those things is there'll be an increase in lawlessness, and for that reason, the love of many will just grow cold. It'll go icy. So, what that's clearly saying is, as we draw toward the end and towards Christ's appearance, you're going to have a scenario where the world is not like it used to be, or not like it's always been. Rather, the world is growing colder and colder to the point where it's palpable and it's you can feel it and it's very visible and very, very obvious. It's not just like it always was. You can look around and say, oh my gosh, people are just cold today. And it's so true that I see a ton of people everywhere in person, on social media, on YouTube channels, and everywhere. They're not even, they wouldn't even consider themselves to be religious people. And they are saying the same thing because it's that obvious. People today will trample over you, they will step on your head. Basically, we talk about narcissism and how they're survivalists. They have kind of a survivalist mentality. Well, that's what most of the world has today. And what that means is they're going to do what's best for them in every single instance. They are going to get theirs. They're going to take care of them and everyone else. Who cares? If I need to trample you, I will. If I need to trample over this person, I will. If I need to step on their head to get where I'm going, I'll do that. I'm going to do whatever is best for me at every single turn. That's the culture. That's society. That's what's taught. That's what's promoted. That's what's practiced. And that's what's preached. Do what makes you happy. Get yours. And and I'll be darned if it's not like that today. People will not hesitate to stab you in the back. They will not hesitate to be conniving, manipulative, to do anything they have to do to you to get what they feel they have coming to them. Relationships are a good example of that. We live in a culture today where people just view relationships, shoot, they view family as disposable. People don't even think have a second thought anymore about ending a marriage, about ending a committed relationship, about blowing a family up. People, more often than not today, we know divorce about 50% for first time marriages, 67 ish for second time, 74 for third. Gets worse from there. Who cares after that? But the point is, people will end marriages and relationships and blow their entire family up. They'll have children, they'll have a life together, a home, a whole thing, a whole life that's been created. And they will walk away from that like it's absolutely nothing. because they felt like something was better, the grass was greener, they weren't happy. It's just the truth. And because of this, people's love is also lack of love is also evident in the fact that people deal with so many others. It's just the way it works today. You're dating multiple people, you're texting multiple people, you're creating backups, you're creating plan Bs. That's just the way, that's the modus operandi of the day. And in order to do those things, you don't love anybody. You cannot love the person you're with and be talking to other people behind their back, setting other people up, dealing with other people. You can't be triangulating and manipulating and gaslighting and doing all those things either. It's a lack of love. You can't love someone truly and do any of those things. Yet it's routine. It's how people do. You can just be out and about today, and for the most part, and it depends on the demographic, depends on location, where you are. It's a little different depending on the setting. But overall, grand scheme of things, people are not friendly. People will not talk to you. People will scowl at you often. They'll give you the cold shoulder. Everyone is self-interested. Everyone is absolutely on their own business about their own life, about their own priorities, about getting what they can get for themselves. I don't know how much more obvious that could possibly be. And because of the insane increase in narcissism, in dating apps, social media, this me mentality, put yourself first, make yourself happy, do what you need to do for you. It has just created a perfect storm. And because of this, there's no trust either. No love and no trust. People today do not trust each other. And to be completely fair and honest, how can you? The number of people I mean genuinely trust in my life is small. It's very small because it can't be bigger than that. Like I said, when the average person is out there for what they can get for themselves, you know you can't trust the average person. What you confide in them, they will usually tell, or they'll weaponize against you. When you deal with society where dating apps are the norm, when, like I said, talking to a bunch of people, getting stuff together with a bunch of people, that's the norm. People, guys, people don't even think a second thought anymore, not twice about sitting next to the person they're supposed to be with and texting somebody else or messaging somebody else. It doesn't even occur to them anymore to be wrong. He does it, she does it, we all do it. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. It's impossible to trust. When relationships end at the astronomical levels that they end, how do you trust anybody to stay? How can you genuinely put forth this huge effort, your full trust, your finances, your time, everything into something that you know 95 plus percent of the time is going to fail? It's not going to work. You can't trust putting your eggs in that basket. And the reason people can't trust is because you can't trust. You spend all of this time, all this effort, all this energy building something up with a person, and it's gone because they weren't happy, or because they saw something they thought was better, or because any number of cockamamie reasons. Irreconcilable differences. Irreconcilable differences. Which is like the common reason for divorce today. And do you know what that means? Oh, there's little things I didn't like. I wasn't happy. I wish he'd done this better. I wish. That is an inexcusable reason for divorce. But a lot of influencers and a lot of people out there today will say that's justifiable. You don't need a good reason to divorce. Just being unhappy, that's good. There's just some things you don't like about your partner anymore, your companion, your spouse. Well, That's okay. Just divorce. Treat yourself. They have parties now for divorce. They celebrate divorce. Other people encourage one another to stay single. They encourage one another to divorce, to ruin your family, to blow things up. You know, if you start to talk to somebody in a romantic sense, which I don't recommend anymore, you know they're probably talking to somebody else, or three or four or five. If you start dating somebody, you know they're probably dating other people. If you're engaged or married, there's a decent chance that they're talking to other people. If they're not, there's a decent chance 5 years down the road, seven, eight, that they're going to leave you for somebody else, because that's the society we live in. There are no restrictions. There's nothing keeping people from leaving anymore. There's no societal pressures. There's no commitment to God. There's no negative consequences in many cases, at least not on the surface, at least not up front. So how can you trust? Why would you trust anything? There's nothing about the world anymore that feels loving and warm and honest. And guys, if you think that it's just always been this way, it's always been, no, it hasn't actually always been this way. Not nearly this bad. If you guys are in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and you're watching this, drop comments. Tell me, was it like this 20, 30 years ago? Was it this bad? Yes, people have always been people. I get that. But was it this bad? Why else would Jesus say one of the markers of the last days would be the love of many will grow cold? People will be cold, indifferent, uncaring, callous. And because of all this, there's no trust. He said that for a reason, because it's an intensification. It gets worse and worse and worse and worse until the end. Well, I don't know how much worse it can really get. Of course it can always, but how much realistically? Are you going to live in a society where literally zero relationships work, no marriages work, nobody trusts anybody ever at all, period? Because that's where we're heading. I don't think it's going to get there. It can't get there. Not to that level. But the point is, if you think it's just business as usual, it's just the days are just the same, it's just like it always was, it's not. I'm 40 years old. I can guarantee you when I was 20, it wasn't like this. And I'll tell you right now, as I've said 1,000 times, do you want to know? It's a perfect storm, but do you want to know the number one reason why it's so different than it was 20 years ago? Smartphone, internet, dating apps, social media, age of texting, ghosting. It's effortless to find people. It's effortless to cheat. It's effortless to hop on a dating app and be dating five people. It's effortless. And so, yeah, of course, it's 50 times worse than it was even 20 years ago. That's how fast this has gone. It's like AI. It's all happened almost overnight. It's like you just blinked and it was that bad. So, yeah, without question, one of the primary things, love of many will grow cold. And it has. I don't think there's any doubt. Does anyone watching this want to contest that it's gotten this bad? So, why are we in the last days? Lots of reasons. I'm going to continue to talk about them. See my last video about how truth is lost. This is love is lost, trust is gone. Come at you guys with another one soon about who knows, maybe AI, maybe broken relationships, maybe the powers that run the world. I'm going to cover all this stuff. And of course, narcissism, because that's a last day indicator as well. So, guys, hope you enjoyed this. Drop comments below. Come at you with another one soon. And until then, God bless.